Hello! We have made it to round 4 of 4 in the book reviews that I have owed you desperately. This one is actually, if you've had some of my weird, random past book reviews, this is from my friend. I have this wonderful friend named Devin. She's amazing at picking out books. We love reading. And almost every time that I see her for like a holiday or a birthday, I get a book that she picks, and most of the time I look at them and I'm like, why did you give this to me? And then I read it and I'm like, this is wonderful. So it's kind of become this thing where I receive the books quietly. I'm like, oh. And then I find out that I love it because she knows me very well. So today's book, this is my Christmas gift from her, is The Taint of Midas by Anne Zouroudi. I'm sorry for slaughtering authors' names. So sorry. The Taint of Midas is set in Greece, and it's this murder mystery, literally. We meet this sweet, sweet old guy at the beginning of the book, and you're like, aww, and there's this whole thing about his land is very special. There's some ruins on it. He has bees and everything. He's very, very simplistic man, just trying to do his best after his wife has died. And we find out that, of course, this greedy man wants his land to do developments and put in hotels. You know, the usual. It's the 21st century or whatever. We need to make it big and grand and money. That's all I care about. So he's got his kids working for him. You know, they're trying to get the guy off his land. And then somehow along the way, magically, the little old man dies. Sad. I'd say this was a spoiler alert, but it happened so early in the book. It's just kind of the basis for the rest of the plot that goes around, so it's okay that I told you. Little old man dies, and it becomes his best friend's job to figure out who really did it, along with two police officers that, in a system apparently of corrupted men, they are the two that have come unscathed in this whole thing. So it becomes a murder mystery. There's different storylines. We see it from different people's perspectives, mostly the best friend of the dead man, but you get to see some of the police officer perspectives, you get to see some outsider perspectives, you get a little bit of everything, which is cool. It's also interesting because it gives you background on the culture and the life in Greece. It also maybe gives you some things you didn't want to know, like probably how they feel about tourists, but you know, we all feel that way, right? So it's interesting because it gives you, it doesn't just focus on the murder mystery, but it makes you think of the beauty of Greece itself, and I think that's an underlying theme in the book, is, you know, there's a beauty to not just knocking everything over, putting up hotels, making casinos, whatever, making sure tourists come back. There's a beauty in leaving the land untouched. There's a beauty in the simplicity of the people that have lived there for generations and are enjoying their life. Also just makes you want to go to Greece, which probably doesn't help when they're also saying that they don't necessarily need a bunch of tourists over there. So mixed views on that, but it's a pretty cool murder mystery. There's some blackmail, there's some romance, betrayal, people who feel like their lives were wasted, but they have a chance to make it better, etc., etc. So it's a lot of storylines and plots that you've probably seen before. They can be, it's not that they're, it's not that it's a book that you're like, oh, I know everything that's gonna happen. I know this is the same old storyline. Because there's definitely some things I think you couldn't guess off the top of your head from what happens. There are some things you'll be able to figure out, but great book overall. I really enjoyed it. So, out of my 5 scale that doesn't account for anything in the real world, I'm going to give it a high 3. High 3. I can't give it a 4 or 5 just because I feel like I throw too many of those out, but it's definitely a high 3. It's a good book. I think it's cute, which is weird to say of a murder mystery, but there's some adorableness in it. There's some treachery, etc. I've repeated that so many times. So before I just ramble on again, thank you so much for putting up with me as always and my inconsistent book reviews, which come at the last moment, and there's always in bulk to keep you held over until I can find the time to do this again. I am currently reading a book right now. It is the last book that I have in my possession that I haven't read at the moment. So we'll see what happens after I finish it, depending on what month it is and how I'm doing in school. I hope to make other videos in the meantime. Of course, I do once in a while music video reviews. I like to do rants, which I pretend are me doing stand-up comedy, etc., etc. Anyways, thank you for watching, thank you for commenting, thank you for noticing that my channel exists, because that's pretty awesome, and not a lot of people do that. Yeah, I'm gonna go, because I've rambled again, and I apologize. One last shout out, The Taint of Midas by Anne Zouroudi, yep, by our friend Anne. I will leave the name, of course, as always, in the comment box. Check it out, read a good book, go watch TV, go live your life, and enjoy that we're all on Earth. Alright, bye guys.